Hi everyone, welcome back to the Share It Saturday collab hosted by Sharing Moore and Scrappy Tate. So here we show our tips and tricks from our electronic die cutting machines, and here I decided to use another project with my brother Scan and Cut. So I got this 3D Christmas tree card and I just selected it. It was from one of the free items that's offered. I selected it and then I decided to use just this tree. So I'm not going to use it in the way that they had purposely designed it. I had this idea that I wanted to try. So what I did here is I just created an offset of the image. So I don't need the original image, so I deleted it and I'm just going to use that offset. And what I did is I duplicated and created 7 of them, sized them to the size I wanted for my cards, because I'm making slimline cards, so I needed them, less than about 3 inches. So now I'm just grouping it. Right here I'm welding it. I wanted it to be one continuous line, so I put them close together and made one weld piece. Then I duplicated it and I decided I wanted to make the reverse, so I flipped that upside down because the plan was to use both ends of this stencil that I created. So when I had it positioned where I needed to, and I was happy with or pleased with what I created, I was ready to download it to my machine. So you go to File and you select Export FCM file to machine, and I'm choosing the method. I'm doing it via my Wi-Fi. So I selected that option and it'll tell you processing, and then it'll let you know when it's complete. So now we can go to the actual Scan and Cut machine and I'll show you. So you go here to retrieve data, and sorry for the picture, a little dark here, but I think you can still see it. And then we go to retrieve via Wi-Fi, because that's the way I sent it, and it's light, but I think you can kind of see the design there. So once I had it where I needed to, I went to cut, and then I'm selecting the little wrench here, this because I want to change the settings. So I changed the cut speed to 3, just slowed it down a little bit because we're cutting something other than cardstock. And the pressure I moved up to 7 to give it a little more pressure in cutting this mylar. It's a little thicker than, say, just your average cardstock. So once I had the settings where I needed it, I hit start and let it cut. It didn't take long, a couple of minutes, and then I can show you the finished project. So I cut it at my brother Scan and Cut. I used this mylar, and I got this from Amazon. These are 12 by 12 inch sheets. They're called stencil templates, but it's just mylar, which is like a thicker acetate. Or you could probably use acetate for it. Or any plastic sheet, like maybe even a Dollar Tree cutting mat would work. If you set your machine to the right thickness, the right pressure and depth to cut that material. So here's the stencil that came out of that design, and I know it's hard to see because it's clear, but it's the tree line, and then that's the flip reverse there. And the plan was to use it to create some backgrounds for cards. So when I began coloring the design, I really was not feeling it. I didn't like the design. I didn't like how it came together. I even tried shifting it to try to see if I would like it. And here it is where I just did it in the pencil so you could get an idea. So I went back to the drawing board, created another stencil just using the shape that are pre-populated in the software, and just made a tree line of some triangles. Again, may be hard to see, but you'll be able to see it in the finished project. and use this. I felt better about this. This looks a little more modern to me. So let me show you what I did. So after I created the backgrounds, I simply just made some slimline cards and used die cuts and paper that I already had in my stash. And I love that this was a simple project, yet I love the outcome. And this is something you could crank out a bunch of cards all at once if you wanted to. So this is the last Share It Saturday. This has been a lot of fun, this collab. I have learned a lot about both my electronic die cutting machines, my scanner cut and my silhouette. Still learning, but I love this idea. So it was an awesome collab. Hope you've picked up some tips, tricks, or something that you may not have known that your machine can do. So yeah, take it out of the box. Just play around with it. There's so much information on YouTube that you can find inspiration from, get ideas, more tips and tricks. So thank you for watching. You all stay safe, stay crafty. Bye.